Thank you for tuning in to Carolina Blitz Radio on ESPN 730 The Game. My name is Vashti. I'm your host and founder and editor-in-chief of Carolina Blitz. It's a website, a brand dedicated to finding fresh and compelling news stories in and outside of traditional sports reporting and sharing them with you guys, the fans, in a way that is entertaining and fun. We're a credentialed media outlet, and we cover the Panthers, we cover Duke, UNC, NC State, and more. So make sure you're checking us out at carolinablitz.com. Also follow us on all social media outlets. Now, if you're new to the show, if you weren't able to check out our first show last week, you should know that on Carolina Blitz, we love social media, and more importantly, we love and appreciate our fans and the passion that they have when it comes to their squads. We also like to do things a little differently. So each week, we will highlight you, the fans of the teams we cover, and have you on as a special co-host. So I called out last week and I got a lot of good responses. So our DMs are open. If you're following Carolina Blitz, please do so at this time on Twitter at Keep Blitzing and on Instagram at Carolina Blitz. Our DMs are open. If you want to come on the show, hit me up and we'll get you on our schedule. Now this week, if you are on Panthers Twitter, you know this person. He is no stranger to slander, to slandering teams. Let's put it like that. Oz is my friend. He's we chatted up about sports a lot. He's a Charlotte native. And he told me to tell you guys he's a former Panthers fan, current Duke fan, Hornets fan. And he also hosts a very funny podcast called the Double Standard Podcast. And they talk about relationships. I guess it's more of a relationship-oriented podcast. And so you can follow the Double Standard Podcast, search them on Instagram. They have new episodes every Thursday. So Oz, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now listen, I know Panthers Twitter is on here. Your Twitter is reckless. How many times have you been suspended on Twitter for saying just reckless stuff?
Maybe this might be my sixth Twitter account. I think I had my first one for a long time, and then Twitter got really strict on what you can say, and so it went downhill from there. And so I let it fly a couple times, and all it takes is two infractions now, and you out of there. So
how long are you gonna be able to keep this one?
I've been doing good, actually. I've been doing really good with this one. I haven't sent out any really bad messages to players that I don't like. I did get in trouble first time for sending a tweet to Danny Green. This was last finals.
What did the tweet say? Can you give us the edited version?
It had a lot of expletives in there, and because he had just hurt Klay Thompson, so in the most reckless way, it was a wide open layup, and here comes Danny Green jumping on somebody's back, and so it happened to me before, playing pickup ball. It was, I really felt angry from that, from what he did, and so
you let him know.
I let him know.
He reported you.
So the crazy part is I really figured out the Twitter algorithm. So that's why I am able to kind of.
Oh, okay.
I figured out how you get suspended. So basically, you can't say a bunch of curse words, consecutively, and you can't really you can do that if you don't at somebody. But if you at somebody and you say, even if me and you were joking around or whatever, and I say bleep 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 or whatever, and we could be talking about something that we agree on, it doesn't matter because they're going to suspend you because it looks like I'm cursing you out. Or I'm harassing you.
So I'm assuming that your tweet to Danny Green had several
tons of expletives. It was every other word was a cuss word. And so when I hit it, it immediately suspended me. So it wasn't Danny Green per se. It was the algorithm was oh no, he's cursing Danny Green.
Right.
I actually told Drew Brees to break a leg, and I was being and I was.
Let's stop. Let's stop. So you guys understand? Like, really? Okay.
It was like I was saying it in a good way. I was like,
No, you weren't. No, you were not.
I said break a leg.
Oh gosh. Okay, guys. Here's the format of the show. I'm going to speak with Oz about a couple of topics. After we speak about the couple of topics, we have a segment called Blitz or Block. I'm going to pose a question. If you agree with the question, it'll be Blitz. If you don't, it'll be Block. We'll discuss those. Then we'll have our no cap section, where we give a shout out to whomever. So thank you guys for listening. Again, you're listening to Carolina Blitz Radio on 730 The Fan. Now, Oz, let's discuss this, because this is, if you follow Oz on Twitter, you know that he has been one of Teddy Bridgewater's biggest haters. And just to give you an understanding of how big of a hater he is, these are just a few of the nicknames that you have used. I went and searched your Twitter page. Man. These are a few of the nicknames that you have used for Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Allen, which of course is a Kyle Allen reference. We have Teddy Lamewater. We have Teddy Midwater.
Super fair.
We have Teddy Flynnwater. We have Teddy Mudwater. And most often used, Teddy Snooze Fest. So these are just a few of the nicknames that Oz has
All
used.
those are fair, except for the...
Now, let's not that. Let's go to a couple of the tweets that you posted.
Oh,
so in response to a tweet a few months ago, I posted Cam Newton in his new Patriots jersey, and you replied, "We went from this to Teddy Snooze Fest. I will never not be disgusted by that." There was an issue with Trey Boston, and there was some exchange, and Trey liked the tweet, and you guys kind of got him in trouble, and then you responded to Trey Boston by saying, "You're my guy, Trey. All Tar Heels, you're the only Tar Heel I'll ever root for, but in your heart, you know Teddy Snooze Fest is there to secure the tank." All right. You also said in response to Teddy cutting off the music during training camp, "Hey, man, Teddy Bridgewater going to be so trash. Imagine a dude whose career high is 14 touchdowns telling you what to do." All right. Oz, 5 games in, the Panthers are 3-2, and they're tied for first place in the NFC South. Do you want to take back some of the things you said about Teddy Bridgewater?
Absolutely not. I will say mainly because it's funny because I see Panthers fans, like my guy, Panthers Culture, I see everybody excited, and it's funny because Panthers fans are gluttons for punishment, and I love it because last year was the same thing. It was like, oh, look, we good now even without Cam, and what was a 3-4 game winning streak, and then it just went all downhill. So, I mean, if people want to hop on the boat and they want to hop on the Titanic, there's definitely an iceberg ahead coming up. So
come on, you've got to give Teddy some props. He's been better than what you expected.
No. If you dive into the numbers,
let's dive into the numbers.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's dive. Okay, so Teddy is 6th in passing yards with a 1460 total. He has 2 300-yard passing games. 250 plus passing yards in 4 of the 5 games he played. Passer rating of 98.5 or higher in 4 of his 5 games. Teddy ranks 2nd in the NFL with a 73 completion percentage. 34 completions on 3rd down. That's tied for 2nd. The Panthers are 7th in passing yards, 6th in passing first downs, and they're 6th in total net yards. Now, come on.
So you take all that, and then I seen a beautiful tweet from somebody who kind of went into the passing yards, and literally
you're talking about yards after the catch.
Half of his yards come after the catch.
You can't be mad that
I'm not mad at it. I think it's a great plan. I just honestly feel like he's a quarterback that will never get you to the promised land.
What is the promised land?
Honestly, the promised land for the Panthers is deep in the playoffs. He'll never get you. He'll never. Impossible. Because he can't win a shootout.
But he takes care of the ball.
How many turns?
Would you rather have a gunslinger? So, would you rather have a gunslinger who turns it over, or somebody who may be more conservative?
Gunslingers win Super Bowls. Brett Favre did it.
Brett Favre was like 30 years ago.
Patrick
Come on.
Mahomes did it.
Patrick Mahomes is pretty accurate, though. He doesn't throw a lot of picks.
He does still gunslinger.
Patrick Mahomes is an anomaly. We can't even I mean, he's fair. In a league of his own.
All right, that's fair.
So, I mean, come on.
Cam Newton did it. He didn't win the Super Bowl, but he got there.
You're just mad that Cam Newton is no longer in Charlotte. Let's just get down to the crux of it.
That, absolutely. I will never hide behind that. I will never feel like but I also feel like if you were to say we're moving on from Cam Newton to we're going to get a guy that is comparable, then yeah, I mean, then
what do you mean comparable though? Because you want a big playmaker who. Are you mad that Teddy does not have the swag or the persona that Cam has?
I'm mad that Teddy Bridgewater doesn't have the numbers Cam Newton has. I mean, his numbers are absolutely like pedestrian. And so he's literally on the same path to like have 14, 15 touchdowns. He'll have a career high this year. I will say this. He'll have a career high this year of 15 touchdowns. Like he's just on that. What does he have? 4 turnovers right now, 4 touchdowns, or what is it?
I don't know.
I think it's 4. I think it's 4 turnovers. He has 3 picks, and he has 1 fumble. And I think he has 4 or 5 touchdowns possibly. And it's just like, I was about to actually have you. I know you watch Panthers games, and I know like sitting up in that booth with Cam Newton, it was like, oh man.
Listen, you're not gonna get me to do this. This is what you're not going to do, Oz. We're not doing this, Oz.
You don't have to do it on air, but you can admit it. And I know you used to sit in that booth like, oh my goodness, look at this game.
I mean, I'd be lying. Wait, no, ain't and now nothing.
And now you be up in the booth like, man, y'all got some more snacks in here. Y'all pass
man,
pass the peanuts.
Relax.
Y'all wake me up when the game.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Listen, Cam is. I think that at some point Panthers fans have to move on from Cam, and Teddy has been a formidable replacement.
He has not.
Oh my gosh, I think unless Teddy takes the Panthers to the Super Bowl, you're always going to continuously hate on him.
Yes, but it's because I know he will never take the Panthers to a Super Bowl. There's nothing that says they can go to the Super Bowl, because here's the thing. Cam Newton with a defense as suspect as the Panthers defense has been this year, like this team would still be undefeated and we'd be blowing people out the water.
Are you sure about that?
Absolutely. And then you add a guy like, let's say, Robbie Anderson, who
I was going to say
is actually good. So you're like, you have DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, Robbie Anderson, and you have those 3 dudes, and those might be the 3 most talented wide receivers. And they're not even top tier to me, but those are the 3 most talented wide receivers
Panthers have had in a while. Ever?
Yes. No,
are you going to say ever?
Because Steve Smith, Musa Muhammad, and Ricky Prohl was
that was a good trio.
Chain. But so that was probably the second best trio. And so like with Cam, it was like, well, so the best part about it is with Cam, they knew they couldn't surround Teddy Bridgewater with a Jericho Cotchery and Philly Brown and think he was going to go anywhere. It's impossible.
So you're saying that, okay, we're going to surround, they consciously said, we're going to put people who can make plays and make Teddy look better than what he actually is.
You put Teddy Bridgewater.
But Teddy still has to get him the ball, Oz.
You put Teddy Bridgewater on 2015 Panthers, and not only are they not undefeated, they are probably looking at the number 1 draft pick in the NFL draft.
All right, guys, if you're just tuned in, you're listening to Carolina Blitz Radio on ESPN 730, The Game, talking to Oz about his hate, his continuous slander of Teddy Bridgewater. I don't think that
I think he's a good guy.
You think he's a good guy?
I think he's a great guy.
But you just don't like him.
I just don't like him. I think
Russell and you will never like him, though.
I don't like him. I don't like him personally, but I think he's a good guy.
There's definitely no tank for Trevor now.
No, it's not. But that's typical Panthers. Like the same thing that happened last year. You were in a position to just stink it up,
but can you? I mean, you're a competitor. You're athletic, and you're involved in athletics. You can't expect those guys to willingly tank.
No, but to me, you have to make a decision of what you're going to do, and then you have to have a plan. And the Panthers don't have a plan. It's just literally
come on.
They have absolutely no plan because they don't
have.
Because here's the thing: they have a terrible GM who's under a nobody rookie financier guy, who the GM is over this nobody coach who his claim to fame is getting beat in the Meineke Car Care Bowl or something. It's just, or the Shea Butter Moisturizer Bowl. I think
come on.
That's the one he made it to. And he got beat after being up 28-3. So it's just he really absolutely got beat.
We're gonna talk about Matt Rhule a little later. I don't know if you're gonna give anybody the props that they need. If we had the player haters ball here tomorrow, you winning.
Hate.
Well, listen, I personally think that Teddy has exceeded expectations with his play. I did not expect the Panthers to be in a 3-way tie for lead of the NFC South, and I know you didn't either.
Absolutely not. But I mean, that's barring that literally everybody's in the toilet. When Cam was here, nobody decided that they were going to be everybody didn't decide they were going to stink it up in 1 year.
I will give you this. The Cam Newton with the line as well as they've played this year so far, because Teddy Bridgewater is not getting hit, right? Mm-hmm. And Cam used to get obliterated.
Shout out to my guy Moulton.
Cam with the line playing the way that they are with the offensive weapons, I would have loved to see that here in Carolina. I think it would have been very fun to watch and to cover. With that said, Teddy Bridgewater is holding his own, and I think at some point he's going to earn your respect.
He has earned my respect as a quarterback. No, not as a quarterback. As a person.
I mean, as a quarterback.
As a quarterback, no. He's not a real quarterback. He's terrible. He can't throw the ball downfield at all. I've watched
He's had some long completions.
I've watched the Arizona,
and it's not just yards after the catch.
The Arizona game. I watched that game and I was literally bored out of my mind. Every time he threw the ball downfield, he threw it a mile over somebody's head.
He had a couple miscues, but
he has two gloves. So as an old school Panther fan, we have PTSD. The last double gloved guy here stunk it up so bad that I didn't want to see a quarterback with two gloves ever again. And when Mighty Mouse came out there with his double gloves, what was his name? Derek Carr?
Yeah.
His brother David Carr. So Derek Carr, he stunk it up so bad. And I hated any quarterback that wore two gloves.
So Teddy's really not going to he can do nothing right in your eyes.
Never.
Okay. All right. We're moving on. We're going to go blitz or block, guys. This is the segment where I pose a question. If you agree with it, you blitzing. If you're not, you're blocking. You're a Hornets fan.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
All right. The Hornets have the third pick in the NBA draft.
Really?
Blitz or block? If LaMelo Ball is available
blitz.
At 3, the Hornets have to pick him.
All out blitz.
You like LaMelo?
I like Melo. Melo is a product of NBA. He's an NBA player all the way. Now, could the Hornets ruin him? Absolutely.
Well, the draft is a little more than a month away. And most mock drafts have the Hornets picking LaMelo at number 3 behind Anthony Edwards and James Wiseman. Mm-hmm. This week, Ball said on the Jalen and Jacoby show that he's only spoken to the Knicks and Warriors during the pre-draft process. He has not spoken to the Hornets. And also, point guard is Ball's optimal position. It's a spot where the Hornets already have Devontae Graham and Terry Rozier.
Bye, Terry. See you later.
They just signed Terry.
See you later, Terry.
You think LaMelo is a game changer? I just don't trust the Balls, and it has nothing. I just am not. I don't know. I mean, I think you might have to take him because of his potential upside, but I wouldn't expect much. I think this draft is mad weak.
It is extremely weak, but LaMelo, is he a game changer? Possibly not, but he's also he's stretched out like crazy. And
yeah, he's 6'7".
That's insane. So I honestly think you move him to the 2 and you have Devontae.
He doesn't want to play the 2.
Oh, yeah, he going to play. Listen, LaMelo, when you get off that plane, just be prepared to play the 2.
LaMelo said he doesn't want to play the 2.
Devontae Graham already got it. All right, so y'all going to be lightning and thunder, whatever nickname y'all want. But y'all 2 going to give us 30 a game, and everybody else just pass the ball back to them.
All right, Blitz or block, an all-inclusive NCAA tournament.
What's all-inclusive?
So basically, last month, ACC coaches announced a collective proposal to include all eligible Division I teams in next year's NCAA tournament. A lot of people criticized the idea, questioning how it would work. Tuesday, we spoke with Kevin Keats. He basically said it would be in this unconventional season, it would be kind of a way to plan for potential interruptions in play. So say a team came down with COVID and they had to sit out a week or two. Just including everybody in the NCAA tournament this year would be a way to avoid, I guess, controversy due to that, and then a feel-good story.
Oh, yeah, it is a feel-good story. I mean, absolutely, the Tar Heels would be able to finally make the tournament again. And
some would say that the tournament got canceled because the Tar Heels weren't in it this year.
No, the tournament did not get canceled because the Tar Heels were never going to be in it. Let me tell you something. COVID stopped the tournament, but always remember that the Tar Heels got destroyed before the tournament was stopped. So they stunk it up during the season and then were one of the only teams in the ACC to get eliminated. So, I mean, I'm sure this year the Tar Heels would be part of that feel-good, like, Cinderella story.
Okay, so you're saying without an all-inclusive tournament, the Tar Heels wouldn't make the NCAA?
Absolutely not.
This is hate right here.
The Tar Heels. Shout out to UNC. Let's get them all-inclusive.
This is pure D hate. They had one of the top. They had one of the top recruiting classes.
Roy gonna still play Andrew Plato and
Play. Oh my God.
All inclusive. I'm blitzing on the all inclusive because we don't want the Tar Heels to not make the tournament again. Roy Williams does not need to get fired in his last 2 years of coaching.
All right, so I'm gonna admit, at first I was like, "Ew!" I think this idea is super whack. But after hearing Kevin Keats explain it, like college football had buffers in it where they had several off weeks where they could kind of finagle the schedule in order to try to have as close to a normal schedule as possible. With basketball, you don't really have that much leeway. So if a team, and you have less players, so one positive test may affect your whole team. And if your whole team has to sit for 2 weeks, they could be playing outstandingly and then miss the tournament because of that time away. So it makes sense now. So I'm going to blitz with that. Blitz or block? Matt Rhule has exceeded expectations.
Block.
Come on.
Block.
3-2 tie for and lead in the NFC South.
It's literally, we turned into the new NFC East, the annual hardcore pillow fight up there with the Eagles, Cowboys, Redskins, and Giants. So we're the new NFC East where everybody stinks. And so
I don't know if everybody stinks.
Who's the best of the worst?
The Falcons stink, but
Falcons stink. Saints stink.
The Panthers are improving each week. They've looked better each week. Yeah, he had a good draft.
They beat a team who fired the coach. Yeah.
So far he's had a good draft.
And then would they beat the Falcons by a possession?
It was 23-16. Oh my God. Robbie Anderson was one of the best free agent pickups the Panthers have ever had.
Absolutely.
Okay. So they have a top 10 offense. Like, come on.
How do they have a top 10?
They do. They have a top 10 offense. They're number 6 in total net yards per game.
How?
This is just what it is. And the defense, as young as the defense is, they're 14th in the National Football League. Like, come on. You gotta give Matt some of his props for that.
Yeah, I'll be picking 8th in the draft.
All right. Blitz or block? Derrick Henry's stiff arm on Josh Norman was the most disrespectful thing we've seen this year in sports.
Absolutely blitz. I mean, to push a grown man like that is I don't care what anybody says. Like, Josh Norman works out like everybody else. He gets in the gym. It's part of his job. So
Derrick Henry big though.
I know, but the fact that another grown man pushed him like that,
I think Derrick Henry might be able to lift you off the ground like that.
Absolutely. I don't work out. He tossing me, man.
How you go home to your girl after that? No, for real. What's your girl telling you?
As soon as you get to a fight, don't be trying to get mad at me. Raise your voice at me. You should have raised your voice at Derrick Henry when he threw you.
Facts. I mean, that's something that you just don't live down.
No, absolutely not. Has he said anything?
I haven't heard anything like, that he says since. Like I guess
sometimes you guys just get in on the fun and kind of repost.
I probably would have done that and been like, I don't know. I would have said something clever. He talks enough trash. He should be able to. But maybe he's just. I mean,
like remember,
maybe you on national TV, you get lifted up like that. You saw all the memes. Like maybe he just. I mean,
Photoshop is a devil.
Maybe he's just. He's waiting it out until people forget about it.
Remember when Chris Paul started just reposting some every time when he got crossed over by Steph Curry and everybody was making the videos out of it, and he just got in on it, and I think that's what you have to do to kind of like combat it, take the power away from it. If you don't, then
Josh Norman got a lot of pride though.
Yeah, he do.
You got a lot of pride. Like after that, I mean, I wonder if the guys in the locker room. If I were in the locker room, I'm giving him the business. If we watching film,
is there like a
2 weeks?
Period? I know when I was coaching, they used to tell the parents that you got a grace period. Don't ask the coach anything about the game. So I wonder if there's after the game, it's just all right, man, y'all quiet.
So you give him a day or two.
You give him a day or two,
and then that third day, you letting it go.
You start putting the pictures.
Man, no, I'm giving him the business immediately. Immediately, there is no grace period when you get lifted off your feet like that. I saw somebody tweet that you could see the front of one shoe and in the bottom of the other shoe. Like, dude, like, how you go home to your kids after that? Like, what you saying to your kids? All right, Oz. Oh I need a game prediction. I know you're no longer a Panthers fan, but the Panthers play the Bears this week. The Bears are 4-1. Mm-hmm. Panthers are 3-2. Mm-hmm. The Bears have Khalil Mack on the defensive side. Nick Foles running the offense. Can the Panthers win this game at home?
Absolutely not. Oh, absolutely not.
I just did this as a formality because this is what we do.
It's Bears 24, Panthers 10, and that
2 touchdowns.
Yeah, the Panthers get that second touch. I mean, they get that first touchdown in like the fourth quarter in garbage time.
Well, it is important to know Kawan Short is out for the season.
Yep.
They announced that a couple of days ago. It'll be interesting to see because the Panthers already struggled against the run defensively. So
as well, I remember they went all in on Kawan Short. It hasn't been healthy in 3 years. And it's like, let go Cam, but keep Kawan Short. Genius move by Marty Herney, who's, one of the most illustrious general managers in football and a great talent evaluator, according to the rich financier of Charlotte sports now.
Well, I think it's going to be tough. I think the Bears win. I don't really have a score prediction, but I had them losing to the Falcons last week also, but they've been impressing me.
If they had Julio Jones, they'd beat the Panthers.
Well, here you go. You know what? There's no way that I convince Oz. He's a former Panthers fan. The hate is still strong.
I might be back next year, but I just haven't figured it out yet. But I might be back next year, but I'm not sure. I'll definitely be back when they fire Matt Rhule.
All right. See, Matt Rhule is here for a while. All right, guys. Thank you. You've been tuned in to Carolina Blitz on ESPN 7:30. The game will be here every Saturday at 10:30. Thanks to Oz for coming on. I'm not going to give his Twitter name because I don't want him getting suspended again. Make sure you're following Carolina Blitz for all of your sports and entertainment news. Keep blitzing.
The preceding commercial program was sponsored and paid for by the hosts of this program, Charlotte, North Carolina, which is solely responsible for its content.